Hi, welcome to the monthly global video hub of a couple of global Stampin' Up demonstrators from Germany, the US, the UK and the Netherlands. My name is Lotte Noordzij. I am an independent demonstrator in the Netherlands. I live in Rotterdam, which is one of the biggest port cities of the world. And I have my Stampin' Up business over here, which is called ALotteStampingFun. Because when you stamp with me, you always have fun. Today we are doing a hop with the Daisy Lane suite. That's our focus product. And as I'm showing the set to you, then you will see that the saying is in Dutch, because we also have it in a Dutch translated set. It says pluk de dag, which is carpe diem, groetjes, which is hi, zo blij met een vriendin als jij, which means I'm so happy with a friend like you, and liefs, love. The images are all the same, but as you can see, I also put the Dutch flag on it, so I know that this is one of my precious Dutch stamp sets in my whole Stampin' Up stash. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna make a fun project. I had it in my head when I saw this cute little plant pot at a store, and it had daisies in it. And they're called Australian daisies, Australische madeliefjes. And I really liked the color combination, and I immediately saw some Stampin' Up colors. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a little label that I can hang on the packaging like a cellophane bag, and I will make a card with it, and I will show you how. You will need for the basics, and I will put all the measurements also in my blog. The blog will be in Dutch, but you can always use the translate button on the right upper side. But all my measurements are in inches and in centimeters. So I will give you both, and on my blog you can find them all back. For the card, you will need a card, a base, which measures 21 by 14,8, and you just score it at 10.5 to 10.5 centimeters. Oh, I should have done this in English, of course. Okay, so I'll start again. It's the card base, which measures in centimeters, 21 centimeters by 14.8. And then you'll score it over here at 10.5 centimeters. In inches, it will be 11 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/8 of an inch, and score it at 5 7 1/8 inch. So that's your card base. Then you will need purple, the Heather Highland mat, which measures in centimeters 13.8 by 9.5, or in inches 5.5 by 3 3/4. Then you will need a piece of shimmery white, which will measure in centimeters 13,3 by 9, 13.3 by 9, and in inches it is 5 3 1/8 and 3 5 1/8. Then the last thing which is handy dandy if you have it lying with you, is the terracotta tile, which measures 4.5 centimeters by 3.3 centimeters, or 1/13/16 of an inch and 1/5/16 of an inch. So when you have that all cut and ready, then you are able to make the card. And also make sure that you have some scraps of shimmery white for your daffodils and for the little text. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to do a color wash for the back of the card. As you can see, I made a color wash on the shimmery white. Shimmery white is perfect paper to do that with. So I take my shimmery white, I take my soft sea foam, and I put a little bit of ink in the lid of my ink pad, and then I grab my aqua painter. And first what I'm going to do is make sure that the tip of my aqua painter is clean, and then I'm just gonna make the paper a little bit wet. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I hope so. That will allow the ink, what I'm gonna put on, to flow better. There you see. And just start coloring, and you don't have to work really neat because it's a color wash, so you can just go ahead and just do whatever you like. So when the color wash is done, it needs to dry, because if you're going to stamp on it right now, then the ink of the stamp will flow, and that's not a good thing. So you will either push it aside, push it aside, and let it dry on its own, or you can use the heat tool. I have already prepared the one that I made this in advance, so I have my color wash ready, and you can see that the paper is still a little bit curly, so you can either do it like that, just give it a little bit away, or when you put it on with the glue later on, it will stick. That's not a problem. First of all, I'm gonna stamp the stem, and I'm stamping the stem in the Pear Pizzazz, which is a little bit of a brighter green, but it really matches, I think, the little stamps on the packaging. So I'll just do this and put the stem over there. Just ink it and then put it wherever you like it. Make sure that you put all your ink aside. Then this is done. The next thing I'm gonna do is making this little thingy for the saying. Same thing, but I want to make sure that my saying is, or that my color wash is not going out of the stitch framelit that I'm going to use. So what I did, I have a little bit of a template. I'm going to put it on my scrap of shimmery white. I take my soft sea foam again and just color inside the mask or the template, and then it's like that. So I don't have ink on the edges, and I'm know for sure that it won't go underneath, and it will look really nice. Same thing for this. You have to put it aside to let it dry. So I did that, and then you can see us here. Then I take my saying, and I used the early espresso because the early espresso is also in the hearts of the little flowers. So I thought that would be neat if I would do the saying also in early espresso. So make sure that it's up the right way, and then I stamp it. Then I take my frame. This is one of the rectangle stitches framelits. These are really great for all kind of sayings and stuff. You can really make nice embellishment with it that you put on your card. So I'm gonna put this through my Big Shot, and I already did that. So I have my saying ready, and you can see I have everything lined up for the card now. And I also will fold this one so you can see the card being built. That's over there. So now the next thing we have to do is make the daffodils. I also do that on the shimmery white, because the shimmery white allows you to color a lot and go over it with water, so you can make it a little bit different than the normal stamped image. I'm taking the Highland header, and I am a very international girl because I always use almost all the stickers on the back of the stamp pad. So on the front of the stamp pad, I will show you. On the front of the stamp pad, I use the Highland header, the English one. Then sometimes your ink pad is like that. So I use the German on the back. And I use the Japanese one on the side. And unfortunately, it has been discolored, but I use the one without any words. I use that over there. Okay, so now we're gonna stamp the flowers. I just step it, and I need one big flower for the card, or two big flowers. I'm sorry. I need two big flowers for the card. So I'll put them over here. And I need four small flowers. Also for the card. You can alternate them a little bit. Oh, I don't have enough of the paper, but you will get the hang of it because I already prepared my mine for the card, so you can see what I did. Then I quickly go over the leaves with my aqua painter, and I don't do that really neat. I color over the lines because then when I punch them, I will not have the white edge, but I have the more purpley edge, so it gets a little bit of more shade, and it's not plain white when it goes onto the card, as you can see. And then I also do that with the smaller ones, like that. And if you are quick, then you have enough of water going on. Then I take my ink pad again, and I just put in a little bit of ink again in here as well. And what I do now is I'm gonna make it a little bit darker from the middle of the flower towards the end of the leaves. That gives us a little bit more, how do you call it? Looks nice like this, I think. And I go out from the middle of the flower towards the end of the leaves. Now I do that for all the flowers. And what I really liked about these Australian ones, because in the Netherlands we have the white with the yellow heart, is that these have a yellow heart with a more like early espresso heart inside of it. So I tried to imitate that, and I took my crushed curry, adding a dot of yellow in there. And make sure your brush is clean. So I always have a tissue paper kitchen towel next to me, and I clean my brush. So now you can color the heart. Don't go over it too long, because then the purple will also bleed again. But in this case it's not that bad, because you also have the early espresso going over it. I close my crushed curry, and then I take my early espresso and clean my little thingy. Here we go. And then I only do a little bit of in the middle of the early espresso, and it gives a little bit of more. And I don't make the edges too nice, so I'll just tap a little bit like it's the dotted middle that they have. Okay. And lastly, I take my wink of Stella and add some wink and glitter extra on the edge, on the outside of the leaves. And I also do that in the middle. And also clean your wink of Stella if you go from one color to the other. And I'm not sure if you can see, but it gets a little bit more of a shine now. Yeah. And when they are done, then you can punch them out. Best thing is, of course, to let them dry for a while. But I want to show you how to punch them out. And then for the small one, you do the same thing. When you have colored them, you just go with the medium daisy. It really is a very cute little daisy. You can punch that one out as well. So when you're done, you have your flowers ready. So the next thing that you can do is that you can round up. Maybe you can see it like this. It has a lot of dimension in it. And what I just did was just curl the leaves with my bone folder one by one. Very gentle, because you don't want them to rip off. You just curl them like that. And you do that with the smaller ones as well. I really like this color combination. When I saw it in the store, I was like, wow, I see I see soft sea foam, I see Highland heather, I see crushed curry and early espresso, and I see terracotta tile, because the pot is a little terracotta pot. It's from stone, so it's a really nice, cute little gift for someone, especially for a friend who needs it. And then when I came home, I just grabbed all my papers and I thought, okay, this would be really neat to make something nice and share with you guys. Now all the flowers are done. Only the big one. One big one left. And then we can put the card together. I started with the large daisy. And I put a dimension underneath the first one, and then I glued the second one on top. And when I looked at the picture of the Australian daisies, it occurred to me that it's every time it's 2 leaves and then a little gap, and then 2 leaves and a little gap. So I wanted to recreate that, and I just add them on top of each other and then leave that little gap in between. So you see 2 and a gap, 2 and a gap, 2 and a gap, and so on. I really like that. I've never seen that difference before, so I was really happy when it turned out that I could do that with this cute little daisy. And then I'm gonna do the 2 smaller ones as well, so also 2 leaves together and 2 with a little gap. I hope the Australian ladies recognize these little daisies and the Australian daisies. And maybe you're going to tell me that these are not at all Australian, it's only that they're just called Australian. That could be. Okay, so now they're on, and then I will put on an extra dimensional on the back. I give them the dimensional on the back because then it will pop up a little bit, and it will allow all the leaves to keep standing like that. So I start with the big one, the larger. I put on top of the and I put it all the way up. So I make the stem as long as possible. Then it also goes a little bit over the rest of the card. And then I'll put the second one here. And the third one over here. Like that. This is really cute. Then I'm gonna put my card together. So I'm gonna put the Highland header, the Highland header mat. I got it running before I started started taping, but now it doesn't run. Ta! Okay. I have to grab another one. Okay, and we're back with the running one. Just put it here, like that. And put that one on the card. Just eyeball where you want it. Then take the next one, the next layer. Of course you can, I should have put it on first, but this works okay as well. I was just too eager to show you how to make all the flowers in the really nice daisy, and then you can still, that's the good part about the tombow, you can still adjust it a little bit when you're working with it. Okay. Now it's on. There you go. Okay, then I will put my saying on the terracotta towel piece that we cut like that, and put some dimensionals underneath that one. You guys also so happy with that take your pick tool. I really like it. It has all the things that help you make your life more easy. Taking all those little pieces of paper, getting the little embellishments out. Okay, so I put it in the back, and then I'm gonna take the iridescent sequin assortments because they have the really nice green ones in there. I'm just gonna put some glue dots and dots of glue there, and then take out the green ones in different sizes to put on my card. Another green one. You can just pick one, so that's really easy. I'm just not right in front of it, but it is a very handy dandy tool. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna put a drop of glue there, and then I put it on. Can do it two hands, I guess. There you go. And then I'll do one there, oh, and one over there. That, and then one last one, this one. Okay, not that, not the yellow one. Oh, let me check here. That's the green one. I put a green one over there. Okay, so then the card is ready. I really like how it turned out. I hope you guys do too. So I have the card ready. And it matches the little packaging with the daisies that I bought in the store here. You can also make a label. I am going to show you how you can make the label. What I did is I just took a piece of cardstock, which measures in centimeters 10 by 12. And I scored it at 5 centimeters, or it is 4 inches by 4 3/4 of an inch, and I scored it at 2. I just go over it with my bone folder, and I take the new scallop topper punch, which is really great, and it can do 3 sizes. I put it in and punch the top, then I cut out two of the daisies, or 4 of the daisies again, and put them up. I only used the stem of the other wonderful daisy set, which is the Daisy Delight set. Unfortunately for us Dutch, it's not in Dutch, but it gives a great combination with the Daisy Lane or the Pluk de Dag set. You can use a lot of them with each other. This is another big daisy that you can use, and for these label I just took this stem because I thought the big stem would look too big on that little label. The only thing that I wanted to show you from this, because it's a little bit special, is that I took the Whisper White Silver metallic ribbon, and then I got my blender out, and this one is called the Soft Seafoam Dark. I put a little bit of paper underneath it, and then I take the brush side and I just go over it and make sure that it really goes all the way, and then you can color your white ribbon. So now it really matches the cardstock, so you have soft seafoam ribbon. Well, I hope you enjoyed my project for this blog hop, video hop. I really enjoyed making this for you guys. We will be back every first Wednesday of the month with another focus product, and this time it's the Daisy Lane stamp set with the punches, and my colleagues from Germany, the US and the UK have made really nice projects as well. You can find their videos in the links here below, and all details will be on my blog about the sizes. The blog will be in Dutch, but you can use the translate button. I hope you enjoyed it. Have fun watching all the other videos that my friends made, and see you next month during the monthly global video hop. Okay, bye bye.